Hello. Are we live? Oh, let me double check everything, that everything is working. It seems that we are live. Okay. Hey everyone. How's everybody doing? Yeah, I'm really sorry about Tuesday. We had some issues that we need to fix at that point. Hi Daniel. So we needed to cancel the stream. Yeah. So we on Saturday we work on our REST API. We should probably continue working on REST API before going in anything else. I would really like to show you how to work with databases, at least with some easy, simple databases, like easy to grasp. So maybe it's SQLite or something like that. But first, let's finish our REST API, and on Saturday, so in 2 days, we should probably work on something that's a little bit more complicated. Still REST API to understand the backend totally, and then piece by piece importing in the front end. So I created something. So if you haven't downloaded already, you have GitHub CroCoder Dev. Yeah, remind me later. I have updated something. I added some DB stuff, DB.js and DB.json. If you haven't already, just download the zip or SSH the repo here. Git clone it. So there are two files, DB.js and DB.json. DB.json is just a JSON file, similar to the JSON file that we had when working with JSON server. The only thing that I wanted to do is remember the ID here. So we should probably change this to 2 and 2. So we know that the last ID was this number. We can actually put this in memory or something like that, but let's keep it here for this moment. And DB.js is just reading and saving the file. So it reads the whole file or it saves the whole file. So we just send some data and some object here, and it will automatically JSON stringify it. If you wonder why is there data null too, it's actually the dent here. So it will look nice and not like one line of JSON. It will look like humanly readable here. So that's about it. Okay. So let's continue work. Let's first see what's going on here. So we created so we had pets and persons, so pet or persons or people. So pets, we are reading it, we are returning by owner ID, by ID, deleting it, creating, and so on. And in person, we are actually getting also the pets of single person. The thing that we haven't created is when deleting, we finished that, but we haven't finished when creating. So when creating, we should probably create new pets, or just add pets to the person that's created. So that's about it. So let's skip that. This is just boring, like entering data, so on. Let's go and update our data set from this DB.json here. So okay, let's go from here. So let's update first reading the data. So this will be pretty simple. Let's update first pet.js, because pet.js is much simpler than person. So let's see what's going on in here. So we don't need anymore the ID and pets here. We actually have all the data inside of db.json here. So for reading from db.json file, we should import everything from the db.js. So we can do something like this. db, yeah. So the db now has read and save. For pets, we actually just need to db read pet or pets.value. Right? Let me double check it. So yeah, you can see here that there is something people and pets, and there is some value. It's an array. So we should probably do that here. Okay. So we have read, get everything. Read pet by owner ID. So when you send an owner ID, we should get pets out of there. It's the same thing as here. You just add. You change the pets to db read pets value. So read pet by ID, same thing. You can do it like this. So let's try this out. So you should go to the, how's it called, exercise REST API, run npm start, and we should go to localhost 3000. There is our project, localhost 3000. Is there some problem? Oh, 8000, it's not 3000. Okay. Hello, YouTube. And if we go to the pet, oh, okay, we get everything here. And if we go like this, we get the door here. And if we go by owner ID, I can't remember by heart how it went. Let me get to pet. By owner ID, you should call what endpoint? Oh, we actually haven't created the endpoint for that. Okay, no problem. That's only for internal use for the person.js. So this is working fine. Okay. Now let's change person part. So pets calls read pets. Okay, we can delete this. We can also add the db require from here. So it's db require db. And we can call the people here like db read people.value map something. Then we can call it here like this. We can call it, oh, this is delete. Okay. Create person, create update. Okay, so we updated the read part. So this is pretty easy. You just change people with db.read .people.value. So this should probably work without any problem, right? Yeah, it's working. And let's go, yeah, John, let's get David. Yeah, everything is working fine. Have you all installed Insomnia? So let me ask you that. Have you all installed Insomnia part? Is it working on your PC? Or should we write the code every time we want to call something? Okay, get, yeah, let's see. Let's double check here. Yeah, it works perfectly. Yeah. So if we call any like post or delete or something like that, we'll actually get internal server error because we deleted the people and pets objects. So we need to start working with that. So the problem here is that our save and save, saves the whole file. So we need to return to the function the whole data that we want to save there, and after that save it. So let's try to do it with delete pet by ID. So when trying to delete the pet by ID, actually what we need to do is create const data equals db.read. db.read we should change here, so it's pets, not .db.read, data pets.value. Then we should save this here, or we can actually create it like this, value, and afterwards we should call dbSave.data. So let's double check the db.js. So it says write file sync to db.json, our file that we want, and the JSON stringifies the data that we want. So it will work perfectly fine here in this example. So let's try to do that. Before doing that, I will actually copy the db.json and paste it. So just duplicate it. Call it something like archive. So we know we can really easily restart everything that we have here, because we will change the data here. So let's create delete pets from here. So new one, new request, it's actually delete, and we will say delete pet. So create, we will copy this endpoint here, and we will say with some number. So let me send it here, 204. Okay, so we deleted the first or pet with ID 1, and it should be Tor, right? So in db.json, yeah, Tor is not existent here. So if we call get person 1, we should just see there is only Ra here. So it works fine. It's really easy fix here. Okay. So let's go further. So create pet. So when creating pet, we need actually to call something like this. So again, we will get the data, db.read. We will get our that data dot, or we can just, let me think a little bit. We can actually change it here. So data dot pets dot id plus. This works perfectly fine. And then we will push the new pet inside of pets. Actually, we need to call here data.pets.value. And after that returns new pet. So we need save data here. So db.save data. And we will return the new pet. So let's try to do that. We haven't created that already, so let's do it. So create or post a pet. We will call it with post. Body will be JSON. Let's create it. We can copy from db.json, so it would be easier for us to create what we need. So let's beautify a little bit this, so it's not that awful looking. So ID is not known at this point, so we'll delete it. Owner can be ID, Tor will be 1. So Tor be name, species cat. So let's see. Let's see if this should work. This should probably work if we get the right endpoint. So the endpoint is this, and we send it. Okay, ID 3, Tor, species cat, but owner ID hasn't been returned. Let me double check this. So, it doesn't have owner ID. So why is working like that? So new pet owner ID. Oh, we have sent the owner ID. So why is it not working? Let me double check it when we call create pets endpoint. So we should go to create pets, request body. Request body. We made a mistake and we're writing here, right? So this create pets, this multiply. Just a second. Request body. We are sending request body or name or species. Oh, okay. We made a mistake here. We missed the owner ID. So let's try again. Send this. For owner ID is 1. So now it's working properly. So we have owner ID. We will fix this with writing down owner ID also here. So we should now have like 2 different. So let's get people. Yeah, we have 2 like Tor cats. Yeah. So yeah. So where are we? So create pet, name, species, owner ID. Let's double check here if we are sending create pet, new pet. So here we have the same problem. We just need to write everything out. So it's species and new pet dot owner ID. So we forgot to finish this last time, it seems. So we need name, species, and owner ID, and here in map we are actually getting the name, species, and owner ID. So okay, it works perfectly fine. Okay, so this function calls this function, so it should work everything totally fine. We can try this. So in create pets, we can actually get we can create a new one, new request, post pets. So this is one of the most tedious part of developing REST APIs, is actually testing them and seeing that they work properly. So this way of testing it popularly is called monkey testing, because you are similar to a monkey doing stuff. So hooray. It's not really something that you will be doing if you work as a developer. Like most of the companies have some automation or something like that already working. So yeah, see, we created a endpoint with array. So there is something that, let's say Tom, there should be something to automate everything. It's pretty simple to automate like tests like this. So you won't be like manually creating like all this insomnia REST stuff and so on and so on. This is much better for testing like ad hoc something and things like that. So in our DB.json we have a lot of different like pets here. So multiple Tors, multiple Toms, yeah. Everything is here. So if we get all pets, yeah, there are a bunch of them. Okay. So. Okay, create pets, we done that. Okay, fine. So now update pet. Again, we will use the data equals to db.read. Pets become data.pets.value. And now we update everything here. and then we say db.save data. Let's try to do it like this. Again, we don't have anything here, so we will say put pet. We'll call it with put, and we'll have JSON body here. So we will copy something from here. Let's say Tom. We will update something with ID equals 1 or 2, let's say. So we'll update Rea to Tom in this example. So we'll copy this. We said it like this, right? Or are we calling it with, let me double check. So on put, actually we are sending the ID through the route as a parameter from a route. So we should call it like this and send the data that we want to update. So because we shouldn't change the ID. So let me double check it. Okay, yeah, it's working. It's working perfectly. So I thought there would be much more problems, but no, it's working totally fine. Okay, so pets are done. So pets are reading from our db.json file, and everything is saving here. So the problem will be in person. So we can leave the save data here, and it will work fine. The only problem it will be that it will be saved 2 times. So let's say by, I don't know, we're creating a person and a pet simultaneously. We will first create pets with owner ID that doesn't exist at the moment, and then so there are some problems. Let's get to that part, then we'll fix it. So we'll refactor it. There'll be some problems, but it's pretty much more advanced than this. So let's fix the delete person by ID. So here we can get const data from read like this. Afterwards, we can get pets by read pet owner by ID. That's perfectly fine. Then we can go pets for each to set owner ID to null. So here is the first problem. So this is totally fine, but it will be really hard to save it because we don't know from where we are taking this pets here. So we set owner ID by null. Maybe better is for us to rewrite this repeat pet by owner ID in here, so it will be much easier for us to get that. So this is really fine because the read pet by owner ID it's pretty simple, and it's not called here in here. So we should properly refactor it. So this function here, so we'll remove it from here, will be better suited to be in person here. So we don't need to have it like we can have it just like this. So let me double check everything. Actually no, because we are calling it in multiple different. Yeah, maybe it will be great for us to have this function here. Will this change anything? Because we really like, we would really like to chain like this and this, like this for each, so we don't need to change a lot more to save it. Oh man. The problem here is that this data won't be changed. Oh, I have a simple solution. Okay. Let me go back. I have a solution here, and it's a pretty cool solution. So actually we can send the data would be better solution. So here is we can send the data here, and if the data is undefined or if it's null, so if data return db read pets value, if not we return data. So how about this? We send the data and then it will automatically filter. So when we for each to update something, it will change the data and not this new instance of dbRead. So because this dbRead becomes a new variable, this is actually a past variable through the read path by owner ID. So this solution is not really great. So it could be much better. It could be written much better. But for our sake at this point, it's totally fine. So we can actually do then something like this. We can call read pet owner by ID. Then we can add data here. And when we iterate through pets, we are actually iterating by filtered data.pets.values here. So in this point here, we can filter people to people. We can actually call data.people.value. And we can set it here to data people.value. So afterwards, we can just call easy db.save.data. Let's try it. So delete pet, delete this delete pet. Let me change this to delete. So this is delete pet. Oh, okay. Let's call this delete person. So how to change this? Oh, you need to double click here. Person. So we'll call this endpoint, and then we are sending it through here, right? So like delete not pet but person. So let's try. Could not connect to server. Our server broke. Let me double check this. There is some error here. So okay, fine. Unexpected in pet.js. There is something unexpected here. Let me double check. Where is what happened here? So let me did I do something? Oh, I deleted something accidentally from here. So that's perfectly fine. So now should be fixed. We will just update this read pet by owner ID here. And it should be fine now, right? No. If like your terminal stopped working, you should probably has already been declared. Is it working now? Okay. Let me check now. Read is not. Oh man. Person.js. I made a mistake somewhere, and it's probably totally dumb mistake. Read. Yeah, here. It's db read. So let me check our db.json. We have people here, but pets haven't been changed. There's still owner ID 1, and we don't want to do that. So let me check how did we write this inside the person. So we are saving data here, and in read pets by owner ID, that's here. We are, see, I was really fast here and I haven't double checked everything. So now we will copy the archive part back in db.json. So we will repeat. So let's get person, yeah. And let's try to delete it. So now we should get pets with owner ID null. Okay, that's fine. Now it's working. I will get back to the code. Oh. So when there is some error somewhere, try to see what your error message says here. So in this example, read is not defined is pretty simple. And you see in this what line it goes. So line 15, character 16, or position of character 16. And you see like from where you call that, from index.js 39.5. And afterwards there's something like an express. You can see here there's some like router, node modules express lib. So these last two calls give us everything that we need to know. So it's perfectly readable. So, okay, we did this. Let's try to create a person. Let's first try to rewrite this to work fine, and afterwards we will fix this. So data db read, in this ID we will increase the data.people.id. We'll create name, surname, age. We will then push that into data people.value, then return it. But before of that we need to db save data. So this should be working. Let's post people, Mark Johnson, and this multiple. Yeah, it works. It works perfectly fine. Let's open the db.json to see what's going on here. Yeah, you can see here there are now two additional persons here. The additional people here. So yeah, yeah, Daniel, it's pretty great. This is like the this is like a first like interesting thing in a backend that we did. Reading from a file and writing to a file, it's like worthless without without something important to write there. So that's about it. So where are we? So we need to go back to person, create people works out the box, because we were smart in the way that we wrote this. Update, yeah, let's go update. Afterwards, we need to come back here to automatically create or update our pets. Here we change this to data people.value. That's perfectly fine. We wrote this so we update the name of a person if we put the name in the body of our HTTP request, same as surname and age. Afterwards, we return the person, but we can also call here dbsave data. So in our put person, name, surname, okay. Oh, you see, undefined. Why? Because we don't have the one here. So let's write 3. Let's back to db.json. It deleted the age of a person. It should not happen like that. So let's double check this, what we wrote here. So if age is undefined, if age, return age. If it's not, return person.age. Really, it's deleting. So it seems that age is not undefined here, but it if age, then okay. So let's try to debug this. We can use like console log. Let's try first with that. I haven't shown you how to debug backend. It's a little bit more complicated than debugging like in the browser. You can still debug in the browser, but you need to create connections and so on and so on. Let's try the console logging. So we will see here that if we send to 2, and now age is returning. What's going on? Have we forgot to, like, when we are creating person, to include the post people? No, we include age here. So what's going on here? Really strange. Let's try to create people again. So there is age for them. So let's try to update. What? So let's open our terminal. Let's see what's going on in here. Cat undefined. Maybe we forgot the same thing that we forgot in a people. So we are not sending the age back. So let's go to the index.js and let's go to the person, create person or update person. No, we are sending the age here, but let's try to find multiple of them. No, it's here, create person. And send the body here. Create people, send body. So, okay, let's go to the person. There is something called create people. We're sending new person here. Create person. Yeah. So here we need to write something like this. New person.age. So let's try to create people now. Oh, not 5, but let's ID 6. No, still it's not working. So this was not the issue that we were looking for. Or let's try it again with 7. No, it was. Okay, fine. So again, let's restart everything that we had. Copy from archive to the db.json. Let's try to post like multiple people here. It's 3 and 4. That works perfectly fine. And after that, we should actually update something with ID, let's say 2. It works. Okay, we fixed all our issues here. So where are we now? Create person, update person. Okay, it did what we needed to do. So we are going to update the creation and updates of person with pets. Let me save this. Are there? How did I broke something? Unexpected token. I wrote something. Okay. So is there any question? So just try to ask me now. I will actually go and grab a cup a glass of water. So I will be right back. And see you in 2 minutes. So hello, I'm back. I grabbed myself a glass of undescribed soda. Undescript. It's undescript soda, right? Yeah. Okay, so we're back. Where we left with create people, update person, create person, no questions. That's great. If there is no questions, you already know everything and you don't need to ask anything. So that's also great. So let's go back and try to see like what's the problem here. So if we want to create a person, there will be like double saving problem, because you see here we are calling here dbsave and here dbsave with an ID that wasn't. So the problem here, we can like create a new person, we'll know what's the ID, then we can create a new pet. The problem here is like most problems will raise from our error handling. So we should have a try catch here for any error like 500, so it doesn't like bug splits like in our examples before. But let's ignore like error handling at this point. There are some great ways of error handling in Express. We will probably be doing that on Saturday, so let's totally ignore that at this point. But we can actually get here like something like pets. And we can have two different ways of creating it, by just adding existing one with just adding IDs, or we could create a whole new pet here. Yeah, we'll create both. We can like mix and match. So if it's an integer, if the item in array is an integer, we can just update the person with the like owner ID of that existing pet, or we can create if it's an object. So we can create that really easy. So let's try to do that. So we can see here and go pets, filter, pet. We can go with type of, or we can go number. So if we transform something to number like this, we can test it with, is it number? Is none? Yeah. So here is, so we can test, so we can get all pets that when we try to transform them to a number, it will result to is none. So if we call it a number and object, let's try to do that. So let's try to do that in here. So let's try to call number of an object. It's called none. If the object has something in there, it will be none. Okay, so if we can test it like number is not a number, we will return true. And for everything in here that we call, it will return false. So we can filter really easily with this, our array. So yeah, here will be our pets to create. So let's call it pets to create. And here we can create const pets to update. We'll just change here. So when number is false, we will create pets to update, and when it's like this, we will, no, is the other way, no, just a second. Yeah, it's fine like this. Yeah. One thing that we want to know, that if their pets is undefined here, we actually want to have an empty array, so this won't fail. So we can set it like pets can be undefined, it will defaultly be an empty array. So. Let me double check here and let's read what are we doing here. So there is something create pets, that's great. We should probably use this. And there is something called update pet. So we can call update pet and create pets for in our example. So let's go back to person. Let's add create pets and update pet. Something like this, and we will call create pets. Really easy, just pet to create, and we can call create pets, pets to create. We can get const here. We can call it or new pets, and in pet to update, we can call const updated pets is pets to update. Again, map. Yeah, sure, we can map it. Pet, and then we call update pet. But we need to see the ID. The ID will be just the pet, so it's a number. And for owner ID, we actually will need to call, so this will be undefined. We don't want to update name or spaces, but we want to update the owner ID, and the owner ID will be new person.id. So let me write this a little bit, or just do this. So you see here that updated pets, we have new pets and updated pets. And after this, we can actually just say new person.pets is equal to, we can create something like this. So pets to update, and no pets to update, but new pets and updated pets. So this spread operator actually so we are getting back a big array, so this actually spreads the array, and we will actually just get a new pets array that has all the items from here and all the items from here. So this is a really nice way of doing that. Also, what we need to do is db save the data. We should probably save data push here, so we'll get all the data. This is much maybe something like this, but we want to save it like, yeah, we want to save it like before we do all this pet stuff here. So we'll return new person will have all the pets. So let's try this. This should probably work pretty fine. Yeah, try if you haven't like written this already, I will stay a little bit on this. So let's try it in our Insomnia. So what we did here is when we are creating a person, we actually can add pets in there. So we can create pets. Why is this a problem here? Because we haven't like this. And we can add a pet from like here. We can copy paste this. Yeah, here is the first. Okay, we can try first with a number. So where is it? Post person. We can say 1. That's right. Something is amiss. We maybe create some problem here. So let's see what's going on in here. Oh, we actually haven't passed the pets here. Oh, we need to go to index.js. And we are creating person. We actually should send also request.body.pets. So let's try it again. Okay, it works fine. You see, the Tor has changed its owner ID. So let's try it with something like this, but we don't need to write. The owner ID. Let's try it. I'm not sure that this will work because I already forgot what we have written there. So let me see that if we can create, we should like not write down the owner ID here. So let's try to send it. ID is 3, name store, species cat. Let me double check in DBJs what's happened here. So we have store with ID without owner ID. Oh, we missed something here. So in our person creation, we missed something here. So update pet, new person ID. What's the problem here? Let me go to the pet, update pets. So what was the problem? Oh, right. No, update pets is fine. Here was some problem. So read, get the pet's ID, the owner ID. So it was here. What we wanted to create, right? Pet. And there was some problem with pets to create here. All right, because we haven't sent the owner ID here. So what we need to do here is actually map the pets here and say pet.ownerID equals to new owner.id. Let me just write this down, maybe a little bit better. So we wanted to create something like this, and we want to have all other properties of pet. So you can write it like this, right? Or am I missing something? So we wanted to so this is not working. Okay, just give me a second. We can give me a second to see the best thing that we can, right? But it should be working, right? If we say, why is not working if we say like this? So what's the problem here? Oh, I forgot to put it like this. Yeah. So when there is implicit return, we should always put the brackets like this. I forgot about this, but now it should work perfectly fine. So let's try it. It's a new person, it's a new owner. Yes, it works perfectly. Oh, finally. Here it is. Here's the code. So we need to filter all the pets to see which one are wanted to create, and then we should add the owner ID, because we don't know the ID of the new person that is created here before we call the endpoint. That was the problem. So now what you can actually do is something like this. We can mix and match things. So if you can see now, we actually updated the cat with ID 1 to owner ID 10, and we created a new Tor cat. It's unfortunately, we can make it like to I don't know, any more famous, like Garfield, but okay, fine. So there is a new cat with Tomcat with ID 6 that has owner ID 11, and there is also a Tor cat updated like that has ID 1. So its owner, it's Mark Johnson now. So you can see you can mix and match. We can try it like multiple different, like something like this. You can see that we updated the ownership of our 3 cats in the database, and we created a new cat here. So this is pretty cool. So we can mix and match, and we don't need to need to follow any order here. So we can do it something like that. So here's the code for anybody that hasn't already finished writing this. So you can see that JavaScript is pretty like powerful. You can write a lot in one line of code. You just need to understand like filter, map, reduce, and everything else. Spread operator is pretty nice to know. Like I haven't go into depth about it, but it's like pretty easy. If you have some array here that is like 1, 2, and 3. If we want to create a new array with the same values here, we can actually call just something like this and this. So this won't copy directly the array, it will only copy the values inside of the array. If we want to add like 4 and 5, we can write it like this. So this new array will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same thing with objects, it only deconstructs by properties. So if we have an object here that is like, I don't know, A is 1, B is 2, and we want to create a new object, we can create it with something like this, object deconstruct the spread operator, and then we can say C is 3. So this one will have value of A is 1, B is 2, and C is 3. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. Yeah, spread operator is great. So so multiple people should work perfectly fine. Let's only check if we like delete the pets and we don't want to create it with any pets. Yeah, it works perfectly fine now. So yeah, that was a problem that we saw in before that could happen. Create people works fine because we were smart and used like create person for creation. So we can have multiple people with multiple pets in them, and we should go now to update. Let's delete this console log. What to do now? We actually need to update like something like this, person pets, and then update it. We should probably add here pets. And again, we should probably set the pets to be the array, and we can actually copy paste these parts, right? This part here, but we can actually also create an update here. So when the update person, we can actually create a new cat. So we actually can like copy paste a lot of in here. So in here, we can copy paste this and actually change the owner ID to the person ID here. And here we can also change it with person ID. The only problem, so this will work perfectly fine. The only problem in here, that new person pets, we actually need to call person pets to set it. The problem here is that we are duplicating the code and it's not really great. So what we can do, we can actually get these 2 lines of code and create something like this here and call it like const create or update create how to call it, like when you create and update something, I don't know, let's say create update pets. Let's do it like this at this point. So we are getting pets in here, and we want to do something like this in there. So we want to I haven't like, yeah, now it's fine. So pets to create is pets, something like that. And what we want to return is actually new pets and updated pets. So what we can do here is, like with this, we can just call here, and we can call pets, yeah, something like this, and we can copy paste this in here, delete everything from here that we don't need, and refactor it in something like this. So this would be much better if we refactor it to be in a pet.js, because this only does with pets. But for now, let's new person ID. We actually need to send an ID here. We actually forgot to change here the ID. This will be the ID, and this will be the ID. So what we need to do here, that I've totally forgot, is actually send an ID here. We create like pets ID, or yeah, and in create person we should send the new person .id. So here will be the ID, pets ID. Okay, now let's try it. In post person, let's try to add pets with just a number. It works fine. You can see here that owner ID changed, and if you want to add another, where was it? Put person. Change this to delete owner ID, and says here Tom. This is actually working fine as well. So we refactor it a little bit. So refactoring means like rewriting your code to be more readable or better in some way or something like that. So we actually refactored our code now. So this looks pretty nice. The only thing that I want to change is actually take this and put it in our pet.js, and write this here. And then I can just import this here, and I don't need these two imports now. It should work totally the same. Yeah, it works. So I will push all the changes to the master, so you can see. So everybody can download it if you haven't followed or wrote at the same speed as me. So here it is. I actually updated everything to work with db.json here and db.js. So we have actually db.json here. So there are some problems with this. If you try to create like a programmatically really quick insertion here, if you try to update multiple times the data here, we could have some issues because there is only one file, and if you try to update simultaneously like the same thing, it could happen that there will be some problems. So maybe something like overwrite the other thing, and also our ID updates here is not really consistent. So the problem here is that you can really overwrite the data. So databases actually fix that problem for us. So I won't go deeper into databases now. I just wanted you to show a little bit like what databases exist and how they look. So actually we can discuss that on Saturday. What would you prefer, to doing a SQL database or no SQL database? So if there is any questions, drop me in the chat and I will show you some databases. So my favorite database to work with is actually it's called Postgres or PostgreSQL. You can see here it's the elephant So Development, it's pretty popular. It's totally open source, and everybody can download it, and it's pretty fine to use. But you need to install it on your PC. The other alternative is SQLite. It's not really like great as Postgres, but the SQLite is really, so it has almost no the database engine. It's actually just a file on your PC, and you need to install like a command line tool to see everything what's going on in here. And there is also a NoSQL like alternative called MongoDB. And MongoDB is actually NoSQL database. So I would probably choose one of these three databases for my examples in the future. If we go with Postgres or SQLite, I will have an SQL like lecture just on SQL. And MongoDB is much simpler for what we need, but you will need to install it on your, of course, on your PC. It's much easier because it's actually a JSON database, or in their explanation, it's actually BASIN. It's like a binary, so it's not like JavaScript, because everything in there is saved binary. So we can discuss that on Saturday, like more in depth. If you want to read something about it, you should probably go to their landing pages and see what's going on in there. I'm pretty familiar with all three different databases. So they're all three are open source, and you can read the code, how they're working in the backend. And they actually, I'm not sure that they have proprietary. Let me double check this. So MongoDB is actually, let's see the license. Who knows what is this? I don't know if this is proprietary. No. SQLite is MIT. I know that's pretty open. And Postgres is also MIT. So they're all open. You can use it in any way you want. If you worked with developers or like with something more enterprisey, like in a more enterprise environment, you will see something like SQL Server if you work on Microsoft. So it's free, like to use, like SQL Server is free to use up until some like rank or something like that. And if you were like in Oracle, there is also Oracle database. So we can open like something like this. Yeah, accept all cookies. So Oracle database, if you worked with that, it's also fine. But the problem with this are that for Oracle, you need to pay a lot of money to use it, and SQL Server again is not open source. You can't really like see the code, and I wanted to keep this open source. So these three, so Mongo, SQLite, or Postgres, if you have an interest in that, you can check them out. They're pretty, my favorite of these three is Postgres, because it's pretty nice. It has a lot of features that like the SQL Server and Oracle database are pretty envious of. So Postgres is pretty much advanced. SQLite is pretty like low level. It's fine. It's similar to our JSON file, but it keeps everything binary, and you can't like overwrite the data in the way that we can overwrite in our JSON file easily. And MongoDB is a document database. It's totally fine. I have used it in production multiple times, and it works pretty much. It's great, but it's not SQL. It's NoSQL. So if you want to see how it looks, let me double check it. It's really strange. They changed everything from here. Like, what is this? Give me documentation, please. So where is documentation? Oh, docs. Oh man, server. Okay. So if you, let's Node.js edition to see, and then like go to quick start. So you're writing like collection insert many. You're writing similar to what we've written up until now. It's just JSON. You can insert like multiple things in here. You can like just connect to the database and start like to find. You need to query. There is like query language in Mongo that's pretty popular, and you can choose like I'll give it to you like what database do you prefer from this. So if there aren't any more questions, without further ado, I would go offline, prepare for Saturday. So we will create a more complicated REST API, try to connect our front end to it to see if everything works perfectly fine. Go a little bit in depth in our exception management so we don't get like crazy errors like this. So let me give you an example. So if we like delete the name here, oh, it actually works with when we delete the name here on creation. What if we send empty here? Oh, it works also here. See, this shouldn't be possible. This should be an error. If we send like an array here, what will happen? It shouldn't be possible to do stuff like this. Or if we try to delete person with 15, this passes perfectly fine. So things like this should like return 2004. They should return an error, so the client that uses the API understands, oh, I made a mistake here, and maybe we send back like this way to fix that. So if that is it, I will go offline and we'll see each other on Saturday. See ya, guys.